Drinking this album, listen to the brews. I think it would pair well, if only for you, 'cause it's album reviews. It's album reviews. It's album reviews.
Hello, friends.
Hello.
Welcome to Album Reviews, the stickiest music podcast. I am but a statue of a woman. My name is Sarah.
That was good.
You're a gargoyle of a...
Wait, can I do a quick tangent?
Yeah, do it.
Already, immediately. When I was in middle school, I was in a drama class for the summer, like a summer camp for kids. And the play we did was called Frankenstein and Friends. And one of the parts I was assigned was a gargoyle. And
That's
I didn't
pretty
have
cool.
any lines.
I was
except...
going to say, were you just still? Were you a stone gargoyle?
I had to wear like a spray painted like witch doctor kind of or like plague doctor mask, I guess, because that's what gargoyles look like. And I had like one or two lines. It was a really baby part. And it was just me talking about how like I was sitting. Just riveting
Was this the role
stuff.
that you had been like prepping for? You hoped you were going to get it. You were like lining up for auditions, like you were preparing for weeks.
Here's the tea is when I started this drama class, for whatever reason, the instructor thought, maybe because I was like a small child, I'm pretty short for those of you who don't see me in person. She like thought I was super young.
Mm-hmm.
She thought I was in like elementary school and I wasn't. I was in 7th grade. And so she gave me this little baby gargoyle part and I was pissed because I was like, excuse me, look at my resume. And so over the course of the summer camp, one of the two boys that was in the class left. And with him opened up two kind of big parts, a werewolf and, quote, the invisible man. And so
That seems like an easy part.
it really was. The instructor was like, do you want to take those? I'm sorry I
It's
underestimated
like voice acting,
you.
right?
It was.
It's like you're playing a cartoon character.
It literally was. For the invisible man, I literally just like stood off stage with a mic and was like, what's up, guys? I'm the invisible man. And then the werewolf was kind of like the villain of the story. And at one point, the werewolf character fights the invisible man. And so it was it was me on stage in like a flannel shirt and like a werewolf wig, like fighting nobody. Like pretending to get punched by an invisible person, and in theory, in the meta of the play, fighting myself.
I know we need more video content. Let's just start reenacting these small
And I
Sarah
took it
theater
really
moments.
far. I like did, you know, like when someone's like fighting and they start like rolling around on the ground. Like I tried to do that, but make it seem like there was another person there.
Wait, was there like dialogue during this scene as well?
Not
so, like,
really.
You were like talking to yourself?
It was
or
kind of just like, put up your dukes. I'll show you. Because it's a
Was
play.
that a line, put up your dukes?
Probably. It was like horribly outdated because it's suburban Wisconsin.
Put up your dukes.
Anywho, my name is Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
Arguably your best intro to date.
Thank you.
I don't have a theater story for mine. I just want to say, despite all my rage, I'm still just a bird in a cage. Hey guys, I'm Zach.
Very nice.
Hi, Zach. Well, I feel better every minute I stay here talking to you
Oh,
guys.
that was so good.
That's really good.
That was a good one.
And yeah, I mean, this album means a lot to me. It's something that has, I mean, I told you earlier, like, this has been like my Zen album all year. And there's been a lot of shared experience with like different folks in my life that this album's kind of been at the center of. So I'm super excited to talk about it today. But my name is Zack Wheeler. And I'm playing a band called the Mild West here in Chicago, and excited to dig into some music today.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, we are so happy to have them. Do go check out the Mild West's newest single. The single is called Shooting Star. You can find links to that on their website, www.themildwestband.com. Please go listen to that. We're big fans of it. It was shot by our good friend, Max Williams,
Hey, bestie.
who referred us over. You can go find that new single. It's fantastic.
We live.
I love you, Max. I love you so much.
Max. And can you say for the listeners at home who are illiterate and didn't read the freaking episode title that they clicked on, which record are we talking about today?
So we're talking about Cannot Be Whatsoever by Novo Amor, which is a Welsh singer-songwriter producer that's been doing music for a long time, and he's put out music, a couple different albums over the years, but this last one I thought was pretty special.
It's really good.
So I wanted to dig into it. Yeah.
It was the first time either of us had heard this
Yes,
record, and
yeah.
we were both like, "Oh, this is going in our
Yeah, I
rotation."
instantly like melted into it. I was like, oh, this is.
It's vibes.
I've showed this record to a lot of people, and a lot of people say like, "Oh, this sounds like Bon Iver," which
Yeah, I've had those vibes.
Well, there's like the octave vocal thing that he
Mm-hmm.
does that I think is kind of the patented Bon Iver vocal approach. But did you guys have that same reaction, or like what was your initial reaction when you listened to it?
I immediately thought of Bon Iver, and when we dig into it, I'll pull up a reference. I don't know if it was like an explicit reference, but it immediately. Sometimes I listen to songs on this show, and immediately I'm like, "Oh my god, this reminds me of this song." So I do have a Bon Iver parallel.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got a couple.
And I am also a big fan of Bon Iver because, as a fellow Wisconsinite, like whenever anything good comes out of my home state, I latch the fuck on. So then when someone's like, "Oh, Wisconsin sucks," I'll be like, "Well, why did they set that 70s show in it then if
You
it
just
sucks
pull
so
out your
much?"
list, like you pull out your book of cool things about Wisconsin.
Exactly, because
And there's like a
not
whole
much.
binder that's all cheese related, I would guess.
Exactly. What about you, Zach?
Do you guys know the band Radical Face?
No.
This
No.
is really obscure. Well, I don't know what I want to say really obscure because that makes me sound pretentious. They're a smaller band, but there's one song I also have a parallel that I want to pull up for you.
Love.
But just similar type of acoustic, kind of like Tallest Man on Earth, kind of. There's even some Coldplay influences in this album.
no
I
way.
feel like
Yeah.
some of the little poppier stuff, like that was a very Coldplay
Yeah.
guitar lick, or
Yeah.
but
Shout out Johnny Buckland.
yeah, exactly.
Live, laugh,
Writes
love.
some great guitar stuff.
But yeah, I loved it. Zach sent us over, I think, 4 albums, and this was like, I was like, oh, I hope he picks this one. And so I'm really glad
Did
we
you like do a quick preview of all 4?
Yeah, I did.
Were you familiar with the other ones as
I
well?
wasn't.
Oh, really?
But I saw
Okay.
that they were really popular. They were like 2 million monthly listeners.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I'm such an old man. I'm not familiar with these.
I think I
new
sent
bands.
over a Rainbow mixtape by Coin, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm familiar with Coin, so I was like, ooh, I
Coin
could
is
talk
so
about
dope.
Coin.
Yeah. Coin
But
is so dope.
I think this pick is also great. And
Yeah.
I'm really excited about the cocktail we're going to sip with it.
Ooh, let's talk about that.
Yeah, it is the Prince of Wales is the name of the cocktail.
And Zach really put on, well, Zach without a K at the end.
Yeah, should we
do, like, last name initial?
Should we do like Pod Zach and Guitar Zach?
I like that. Or
West-
bass
West-
Zach and guitar Zach.
Bass Zach and West Zach and not West Zach.
Couch
You
Zach
could be
and
East
chair
Zach.
Couch Zach.
Or it could be Mild Zach and Wild Zach.
Oh my god.
Can we stick with that?
Yes.
For the pod?
Who gets to
Absolutely.
be Wild Zach?
Well, you gotta be Wild Zach.
Gotta
I don't
be
know.
Wild
I gotta be
Zach.
Mild
I don't know
Zach.
if I deserve Wild Zach. I feel like
No, you are rooting and tooting,
I think
my friend.
I think it's up to you to do things on this podcast that will earn you the nickname of
okay.
Wild Zach.
I
So
don't
I'm
have
just
to
gonna
earn it. It's
I'm just gonna hold you to that.
That's
it's a
throughout the
perfect.
episode.
prescription, not a description.
Exactly.
Yes,
Exactly.
exactly. So Wild Zach here really put on the bartender hat
Yes.
today.
Yeah.
And did an amazing job crafting this. We haven't tried it yet.
This is the fanciest cocktail we've had on the episode, I think.
Easily.
I wanted to talk about the history of the cocktail because I thought it was super cool. This is born November 9th, 1841, King Edward.
Of Wales.
He became the first British royal to visit North America. I'm sorry, we're just going to cut this. Let's just try it.
Fuck the history. Let's have a drink.
Keep all of it.
Oh, it was like 3 paragraphs,
all of
and I
it.
should have went through and like synapsed it beforehand, but I
Yeah,
didn't.
yeah.
I did not.
But it was like yada yada yada. Prince of Wales.
Prince of Wales.
And now
It's a Prince of
That
Wales
was a cool-
cocktail.
the recipe is super interesting. We had to like muddle shit for this.
Yeah, we muddled a pineapple. It's got rye whiskey. It's got Lusardo maraschino liqueur, a lemon peel. It's got 3 fruits in this cocktail.
Come on, fruit
We got a
salad.
lemon, we got an orange, and we got a pineapple.
Look, if this episode isn't fruity, I don't know what it is.
Love it.
And topped with some Brut champagne, which I had to text Sarah, what is a Brut champagne?
Except you spelled it Brute.
Which is how you spell Brut normally, right?
Like a brutish man.
That's what I thought it
And I'm
was. I was like, is this like manly champagne?
is this champagne
Is this
gonna kick our ass?
Is this champagne that comes in a Bud Light can?
But like aggressive in the worst way.
right. A real brute. And I'm like, no, it's just dry champagne.
Should we try it?
Delicious.
I
Let's
think
get
we
into it.
should.
Cheers.
Cheers,
Cheers,
friends.
cheers. Doink. I
That is
like
good.
it.
It masks the whiskey way more than I thought it was going to.
But the whiskey like comes through
Yeah.
really nice. I like a whiskey.
I think because there's that amount of champagne, like you get some fizz, you get some
bubbly.
bubble.
We
Yeah.
did let it sit out for 10 minutes while we did that intro. So it'd probably be more bubbly 10 minutes ago.
I dig it though. This is really good. It's
Yeah,
really
this is great.
balanced.
I think the fruitiness is really, it comes through a lot as well. You got the orange, you got the pineapple, sets everything off well.
Oh, this is dangerous. There's so much liquor in here. The maraschino liqueur is like 30% alcohol. And
Yeah, so for our listeners at home, it's going to go downhill from here. It's just going to get sloppier and sloppier.
A little saucy.
Compared to the last episode, we were sipping on Seagram's Escapes.
Yeah, this
And
is way.
them shits are like
Wait, what are those?
it's like a
What are
wine
those?
cooler. You know, like a
spent-
Bartles and James
I spent
wine
$8
cooler.
on liquor for last episode.
They were
$8?
3.5%.
Because they're just cheap little like Kool-Aids that
They're
have
for
liquor in them.
moms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did you get more or less drunk than the Weird Al night?
Less.
Less drunk.
Because I was drunk
Because
on
bottled water,
friendship.
if you drink enough of it, like it'll get you.
It started to get a little crazy.
Yeah,
So
if you don't eat.
let's address the elephant in the room. We have two Zacks here.
Yes.
We have two Zacks here.
Mild Zach and
And-
Wild Zach.
We have Mild Zack and Wild Zack, which, you know, is fine. I'm fine to coexist peacefully, but what I really wanted to do was pit you both against each other to see who
We
is
just became
truly...
friends. Let's see how long it lasts.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I love controversy and creating problems.
Don't you guys love how show business just thrives
So
on people fucking hating each other?
Yeah. And you know what? I get it. Like, I'm a Sarah. There are a lot of Sarahs out in the world. It's a common enough name.
I don't
and I'm
think
sure...
there's that many.
Really?
Yeah, there's only a couple.
Dude, I was in an English class one time where there were 3 Sarahs.
Yikes.
And okay, another sidebar. I'm just gonna tell. This is Sarah's middle school hour.
Let's
in middle school, I was in an English class with 2 other Sarahs, and to distinguish who was who, one Sarah was Sarah with an H, another Sarah was Sarah without an H. This is how we were referred to. And I, being the third Sarah, also having an H, I have blue eyes, so my teacher just called me Blue Eyes.
That's
and I was
kinda
like,
cute.
yeah, it was cute.
It's very
But
poetic.
Yeah.
It
A little
came,
endearing, right?
it was really sweet. We got along really well, but she ended up betraying me because one time in English class we were studying alliteration and like assonance and consonants and you know all that stuff, poetic language writing, and I sneeze farted. Okay, I had to sneeze and I farted at the same time.
Have you told this story on the pod before? I vaguely remember it.
I know I've told it to you. I don't know if I've told it on air. I sneeze farted, and it happens to the best of us. And the lights were off, and the projector was on, and I'm like, okay, whatever. This happened. Like water under the bridge, right? But then my teacher like kind of started making a to-do of it, and she was like, "Who did that?"
Wow, your
She
teacher
put
did
on-
that?
Yeah, she put on her damn detective hat and was like, Tyler, was that you? And it wasn't Tyler. And there was like this dude sitting in front of me and she was like, I saw so-and-so like kind of jump a little bit. She looks back at me and she goes, Blue Eyes. Was that you? And I was like, what the fuck, man? Yeah.
That's so
Yeah.
brutal.
It gets worse. So
Oh my god.
gets worse. So we're studying like alliteration, right? This is literally like kind of my villain origin story. I'm not even lying. She
This is your Joker, like your preface.
She started having some kids in the class make up alliteration about me farting in class. And so one of my best friends, I'm not fucking joking, one of my best friends was like stands up and she's like, the little lady let one loose. And I was like, et tu, Brute? Like I was so betrayed. And then another friend stood up and was like, sweet Sarah surprised the class. And I was like, traumatic.
Wouldn't it be Sweet Sarah surprise the students?
You right?
Like
Yeah,
that's a missed
that'd be way
opportunity,
better.
Tyler.
Like it was 7th
Come on,
grade.
be better. Be better.
Yeah, so I knew a lot of Sarahs growing up.
You know what's
Anywho.
funny though? The year I was born, Zach was the most common baby name.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah, I was born in '91, and it was number one.
Huh.
TTT.
Number one on the basic axis.
I don't know
bitches.
that many Zachs. Is it Zachary or Zachariah?
Zachary. Are you Zachariah?
I'm Zachariah.
You are Zachariah.
Which is why there's no H.
Very biblical.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of other Zacks in the world with a lot of different spellings.
Is
Well,
this
Zach,
the game?
is this
game,
Wild
Sarah?
Zach or Zach Wild? Because you know how
Zach
Zach Wild
Wild.
spells his name?
With a K, right? Or no?
It's 2 Ks.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
wild,
It's
dude.
wild, bro.
Is it ZACKK or
No, it's
ZAKK?
ZAKK.
Sure.
Because he's an animal.
I mean, if you play guitar for Ozzy Osbourne, you can't just have a normal spelled name. Like, come on.
It's you know what? It's great for SEO. It's a great
True.
business move. Great.
You're not going to find anyone else.
And I'm sure that's exactly what he was thinking when he decided how he wanted to spell his name. He was like, "It's really for the search engine
It's
optimization.
really for the
This will do great on paid search.
So the
Google's algorithm is not going to know what to do with this."
I'm glad he shares our SEO humor.
Yeah.
Sarah with the school for marketing.
Yeah, we're also
Oh,
fucking
perfect.
marketing nerds.
Yeah, dude, the PPC on ZAKK
Yes.
is just
Top and
10, man. Get the lowest PPC in the market.
So I'm going to pit you two against each
Okay.
other.
Okay, Zach Wild.
We're going to determine who is the superior Zach for the rest of the episode.
My Zachness have never been tested like this before.
I have in front of me just a bunch of famous Zacks. Spelled ZAC, ZACH, ZACK, ZAK. Who knows? And I'm going to have you two guess how this famous Zach's name is spelled. If you get it correct, you get a point. If you do not, you do not get a point.
Okay.
The Zach with the most points at the end of the game is Prince
Is
of
it
Zacks.
turn based? Like, is it
Yeah, do
Mild
we,
Zach
do we
and then Wild
both
Zach,
guess
or-
at each
You're
one?
both going to guess at each
Okay,
one.
okay.
Yeah.
So-
So you'll
okay.
each have equal opportunities.
okay?
It's
Yeah.
an equal opportunity Zach environment.
I do
Yes.
not discriminate against
appreciate
any
that.
Zacks,
Okay.
just
Yeah.
regardless of spelling.
Yeah, I've
Okay,
actually spent
that's
a large
important.
portion of my life studying the spelling of every Zach in existence. So
So maybe you'll wear the crown.
this might be.
I have never been more intimidated. In my life.
I think we'll
I
alternate.
can't be coming in here with small Zach energy. Though, so
Big Zach.
you gotta bring the BZE.
BZE, baby.
I'm gonna tweet that later.
I think that's what I'm going to call this game, actually.
BZ.
This game is called Big Zach Energy.
Big Zach energy.
Originally, I was going to call it How in the Heck Do You Spell This Zach's Name? But that's kind of long-winded.
A little long-winded.
I'm calling it Big Zach Energy.
There you
Thank
go.
you so much. TM.
Damn.
This is going to go pretty quick. Number 1 is Zach Galifianakis, comedic
I know that one.
actor of screen and
think I do too.
stage.
Do we go do we take turns? Who goes first?
Let's start with Wild Zach, and then we'll alternate.
I'm pretty certain it's ZACH.
Okay?
ZACH.
You both get a point. Good
Nice.
job. Keep track of your points, because I won't.
Oh shit. Okay.
Just in your brain.
Let me just pull
Tied
up
up.
some fraudulent.
Tied up.
I mean, not fraudulent, like completely legitimate Apple Notes. Here we go.
It's okay. We're gonna release this a year from today, so it'll statute of limitations.
Yeah, exactly. Fifth Amendment, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm titling this note "Big Zach Energy."
It's neck and neck.
It is neck and neck. It's Zach and Zach.
Zach and Zach. Number next, we'll have Mild Zach answer this one first. We have internet personality and comedian Zach Fox.
Ooh,
Am I old for not knowing who that is?
You might be.
Oh man.
ooh. Is that ZACK?
Wild Zach, what do you think?
Let's go ZACK.
You both are correct. Give yourself each another point. Number next is of the Zach Brown band, Zach Brown.
I like the Zach Brown band. ZACH?
All right. Well, Mild Zach.
ZAC.
Mild Zach, you get a point. It
damn.
is ZAC, your brethren.
My name, brother.
Of all the Zachs, the brownest one. You have to give him his. You got to give him his flowers. The flowers
the
are going to be
brownest.
dead because they're brown flowers, but like,
Right, of course,
yes,
of course.
still got to give him his flowers.
So, is the Zach Brown band the one that emptied their tour bus toilet onto like a bunch of people on a boat? Or is
Dave
that
Matthews
Dave
Band.
Matthews Band?
In Chicago, and it was all fecal matter.
Yeah.
In the Chicago River.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Very important detail.
Yes.
God,
Oh,
not
goodness.
an episode goes by where we don't tell a
We
poop story.
We talk about that instance a couple of times.
I think
The
it's part of
people
the
need
lore.
to know.
It's kind of
Seriously.
it's like a great podcast, but it's a shitty podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much.
Aw.
Number
Aw.
next is Chicago Blackhawks player Zack Smith.
Zach Smith.
Zach Smith.
Zach Smith sounds like a ZACH kind of name.
Okay.
Like if your last name's Smith, you got to spell it ZACH. It's the most
Pretty
vanilla
Caucasian.
spelling.
Yeah.
I met someone the other day, and they were like, "Oh, you weren't the Zach. Like, you weren't who I was expecting because they just knew my name." And so they thought it was spelled ZACH, which is kind of like a party, like
It's like the fratty spelling.
it's the
Yeah.
frat
Yeah.
spelling.
It's
Totally.
the hockey players.
And
I'm like selling you on my answer right now. I don't care though. I'm
so
like
this is my
passionate about
rationale.
this.
Though. Like, if you're
Yeah.
fatty enough to be on a professional hockey team,
Right.
like that guy probably parties. It's probably CH.
Like he follows
It's
Barstool
got to be
Sports.
CH. Well, no, he is. He probably
He
is
is
like on
on
staff. He probably has written columns for them. You know?
Can I bum you both out? You're both
No.
wrong.
What is it?
It is ZACK.
Oh man.
Okay.
It's all right. We move on. Number 5, we're going to have Wild Zach go first, is
Okay.
Zach Faro from the band Paramore.
What does he play?
I think
He's
guitar.
Yeah. Isn't he the one that got the writing credit on "Good for You" by Olivia Rodrigo, along with Haley Williams?
Oh yeah.
Did you guys hear about
recent
that?
lawsuit,
Ms. Biz.
Yeah.
Because Ms. Biz and "Good for You" are the
The same song.
song.
Did you see the Adam
Sorry,
Neely?
Olivia. I love you,
Did you
but
see
sorry.
the Adam Neely video on that or no?
No.
No.
Was
I'll
it
send it to
good?
both of you guys. So, like, copyright in the U.S. is bullshit, in my opinion.
Fascinating take.
Like the melodies are different. They just end on the same note, and like they're two poppy, punky girls singing it, and like that's where the similarities end, in my opinion.
Is it the same chord progression too?
It's the same chord progression as well.
Okay.
but it's like, how many chord progressions are there?
Yeah, but like the rhythm is kind of the same too.
Yeah, but like,
Like,
can you own?
So me and my bandmates have actually talked about this.
Hell yeah, get into
I'm
it.
gonna shout out my boy Dan Overstreet right now.
yeah,
And I think I'm gonna try to represent this take as well as I can. But I think the general idea is you can rip off the melody, you can rip off the groove, or you can rip off the chords. But you can't rip off 2 of the 3.
I agree.
And I think this is an example where they ripped off the chords and they ripped off the groove.
yeah,
And obviously, like the Paramore version, I'm gonna call it the Paramore version.
Absolutely.
uh-huh.
It was executed differently just because it was a different era. The production style was different. It was a little bit more John Feldman.
Yeah.
Now it's a little bit more, she's a pop artist doing the rock thing.
yeah.
But like, I do think that they ripped off both the groove and the chords.
It's a little
So
close
it's a
for
different,
comfort.
it's a different melody, but like it's executed the same way.
yeah.
I just don't know. I don't know if that type of like litigation helps anybody, because it's like in popular music, like
Yeah.
like you were talking about pentatonic scales earlier. It's a 5-note scale. Like popular melodies are super simple. There's only like 10 dozen melodies you can use, right? And so at any point you're ripping off any number of people statistically. So
Well, there's
I
nothing
don't-
new. There's nothing new under the sun.
Yeah,
True.
sure.
True.
That's my own personal wisdom for you guys. I came up with that myself. by the
Yeah.
way.
Absolutely. So how in
yeah.
the fuck does Zach Faro spell his name?
Wait, is it my turn to go first?
I think it's mine.
I think it's yours.
Is it yours? Okay.
Yeah, because it's ZACK.
ZACK. What about you,
I'm
Miles
saying
Zach?
ZACK.
Damn, y'all are in a slump. It's ZAC.
Dang.
Another one of your brothers.
Another Zach.
It's still 2 to 3, by the way.
Another
Okay.
Zach bites the
Thank you,
dust.
because I totally lost count. I've almost finished my whiskey drink. Dude, it's so good. I need to set it
really
down.
good.
Delicious. Dude, we started hot, but we are struggle bussing. It's all aboard the
right.
struggle bus, I hear.
It's anybody's game. It's anybody's game.
How many more of these we got?
We got 3 more.
Ooh.
3 more. 3 more. Anyone could bring it home.
Let's do it.
I believe in both of you. Number 6. Playing Gabe from The Office, we have comedic actor Zach
I
Woods.
didn't know his name was Zach.
That guy's name is Zach?
He does
Yeah.
not look like a Zach. He
I
looks
know.
like a Gabe.
Now I feel gross.
Yeah.
His name is Zach
Because that is
Woods.
a disgusting character.
I need to go
Yeah.
take a shower.
Do you guys remember the episode where like they have the party at his house and he has like that room of like he's like one of those white guys that appropriates Japanese culture in a
Yeah.
way that's like very
a little
creepy.
unnecessary.
Yeah.
But it's like aggressively creepy the way he does it. It's like, oh my god, it's so cringy. And yeah, I watched that episode recently, and
And he's one
now
of
my
your
insides hurt.
brethren.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He needs to change his name. Let's start a
Zach Woods is what it is.
Zach Woods.
What's the website where you like do petitions?
Change your
Change.org.
name. Zach. It's all Zacks that signed the petition.
Get a change.org for him to legally change his
It's like,
name.
why are there 2,000 Zacks that have signed this petition?
Because we don't like his character in the office.
Let's kick him out of the club.
I love this.
Mild Zach, you are first.
Zach Woods.
Zach Woods.
It's plural.
Yes, it is.
I'm going to go Z-A-C-H.
All right. What about you, Wild Zach?
I haven't guessed ZAC enough. I'm going to go that.
Mild Zach, you get the point.
no.
It is
Okay.
Z-A-C-H Woods.
And my rationale there was it's similar to the hockey player. Like the
'cause-
Woods being such a basic
Because he was
name.
probably like a theater star.
Very Caucasian.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was a
thinking.
frat star, but like he definitely was a little bit of a basic bitch.
He had
growing
his
up,
bros.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next. Second to last. Penultimate. From the band Hanson, we have Zach Hanson.
Huh. He's a lead singer. Oh, it's
Is
your
he?
turn to go first, right? If his name's Hanson and the band's Hanson.
Oh, they were all Hanson. I think the thing is they were
They're
siblings.
brothers. They're brothers, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know anything about this band.
Yeah. It's a trio of brothers.
Do you guys have a favorite boy band?
Ooh.
It's gotta be NSYNC because, like, right? Like if I had to pick one, right?
In Sync?
Can I say One Direction? I'm gonna say One Direction.
I'm saying One Direction.
Iconic.
I don't care what anyone says. I'm saying One Direction.
Emily, get the fuck in here.
They're spectacular.
We're trying to convince
Spectacular.
Zach to do a One Direction episode.
So
Shout
the-
out Julian Benetta.
The rule is
Yes.
I get one no to Sarah about this podcast because
Right.
we're creative partners, and I've used it on not letting my girlfriend have an episode on One Direction.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Why would you not let your girlfriend have an episode in One Direction? I feel like she needs that for her mental health.
For her own well-being. And
Yeah.
mine, frankly.
Emilie's
And
Twitter,
mine,
Emily's
honestly.
Twitter account
you.
is an OG 2015's like Harry style fans
Like a stan
Twitter
account?
Yeah.
I
So
kind of live.
like my ego can't take it. Like my ego will die on air.
If I had a more active Twitter account, it would probably be a Niall Horan fan account.
I love
I'm in
the
love with
Nile
that man.
Girl.
That Heartbreak
Good.
Weather album, probably
Yeah.
one of my favorite records that's come out in the last 3 years.
Yes.
So good. It's Zach Hanson.
Mild Zach. You get to guess first. Zach Hanson from the band Hanson.
I don't know. I'm gonna go ZACH.
All right. What about you?
ZACK.
Damn, y'all. It's ZAC.
No.
You're dropping the ball on these ZACs.
Sarah's bringing really hard games these last episodes. Last 2 episodes, I've just been aggravated.
I honestly, I honestly just wish this game related to me more. Feels a little like off base. It's
Yeah, for sure. This is really
like I
about
don't even know what
me.
to say.
All right, what's the score? Am I losing?
It's 4-2.
4-2.
And there's
4 to
one
2.
more?
There's
Oh,
one
no.
more. So this might be just ceremonial.
This is a for fun.
ceremony.
Yeah.
just to
It's a for
get
fun
through it,
round.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Double or nothing.
Oh, shit.
Double or nothing.
Oh, how the turntables have turned,
how the-
Mild Zach.
How the turns have tabled.
Double or nothing. All right. Wild Zach, you get to go first. The final Zach is TV actor Zach Braff.
I thought she was gonna say Zac Efron.
I know how his is
No,
spelled.
that one's easy. That one's too easy.
I actually don't know how to spell Zac
I
Zac
like-
Efron. Is it ZAC?
He's a ZAC.
He's
Yeah,
a
he's
ZAC.
ZAC.
Yeah.
I like Zach Braff a lot. He does good for the Zach name.
Yeah. This is a comrade.
Zach Wood. Does good for the Zach name. Take notes. Thank you. Continue.
Whose turn is it to go first?
It's yours, Buster.
I think it's ZAC.
All right. What about you? Zach Braff.
ZACK.
Neither of you are right.
Oh, no.
It is ZACH. Damn. But
I think I'd guessed ZACH in the last
You
3.
think
so
I would have watched enough Scrubs
Couldn't-
in my lifetime to know?
you've seen the title card enough.
Yeah.
So final score. Do we have Mild Zach taking it home?
4-2.
4-2.
Dang.
That means for
Well-
our audio listeners, I'll describe what's in front of me. Out of printer paper and acrylic paint, I have made a number one
Subscribe
Zach.
to the YouTube channel so that you can see us on video.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Go to YouTube, subscribe. It'll be great.
You are the number one Zach
The
for the
number one Zach.
episode.
Oh, that looks so good on his.
It looks
on his,
really
his
good.
blonde head of hair. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Now I can't move my head for the rest of the episode.
Nope. We've got you
and,
locked
and
in.
because I can't move my head, I'm not going to move my arms either. I'm just going to stay right
we
here.
Legally have to take a picture of that for the Instagram later.
I think
Okay.
you're right. I think you're right. Thank you so much for playing Big Zach Energy. Back to you.
The biggest Zack energy.
I guess you have the biggest Zack
You
energy.
got the biggest Zack energy, dude. Congrats.
Congratulations.
I'm proud of you.
Hey, it's been a journey.
It's a journey.
It certainly has.
It's definitely been a journey to get here, but I'd like to thank my parents for naming me Zack.
I'd like to thank Zack, and all the Zacks.
All Zacks. Before we get into it, can I tell a story I meant to tell earlier?
Yes, please.
Yes.
It is about my dog, who Mild Zach had a lot of fun with earlier. He was jumping on him. We talk about him a lot on podcasts. But I was listening to this album throughout the week, and I listened to my phone a couple times, and I would like have my phone on the couch or like on the bed, and 2 times, which is a lot. Like, it's just weird that it happened twice. Roscoe would like fall asleep on my phone while this album was playing.
That's beautiful. That means you're listening to good music.
And it was so precious. I couldn't take a picture of it because he was on my phone.
Wait, has this happened with other albums?
No.
Oh my god. And this happened how many times?
Like twice this week.
Holy
he
shit.
would like went and fell asleep on the phone. Like,
You have to keep trying it.
You need. I'm gonna buy this album for you on vinyl, so that he has somewhere to sleep,
Yeah.
just in case his bed gets taken up by
lay
someone
it
else.
down.
Yeah, he'll sleep on the album, like the vinyl cover.
But it got me thinking about Roscoe's like psycho or like his cognitive abilities, because we always play music around the house, and ever since he was a puppy, we would sing songs to him but put his name in there.
Cute.
And
Aww.
Cute.
Now I'm smiling.
Yeah, we would like put Roscoe in like the Roxanne. I'm not gonna do it on air because it's really high up there, but
No, do it on air.
Roscoe,
Beautiful.
you don't have to poop on the floor tonight.
And the episode gets shittier and shittier.
There it is.
Let's see if we can get one more in there.
Oh, I'm certain we will.
I'm almost positive. But that was a fun take for the album that it was Roscoe approved.
It was
Amazing.
Roscoe approved.
And it sounds like it's like Roscoe approved in a very unique and special way.
Yeah.
Which makes me very happy.
He took,
Absolutely.
He took 2 naps.
And I will say for everyone listening that hasn't met Roscoe, he is a very, very, very good boy.
yes.
Come host our podcast. Come be a guest co-host so you can meet the dog.
Only so you can meet Roscoe.
Nothing else.
Nothing else.
Nothing else.
My crown just fell off.
Fair enough.
Can I do a big guess, Sarah?
Yeah, what's up?
Is your Bon Iver reference in this first track or no?
Yeah.
Wait, I have a question.
Yeah.
Yes. Is it, how do you say that artist's
Oh, it's
name?
Bon Iver correctly, right?
I say Bon
Iver?
Iver.
Bon Iver?
Bon Iver.
I say Bon Iver as well.
Yeah.
But it's a band, right? It's not a single guy.
Yeah,
Justin-
the single guy
it's
is Justin Vernon, from
yeah.
Eau Claire, Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Shout out.
By the way, did you know that he has production credits on most of my Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy?
Yes, he fucking does. He has
him.
production credits on Monster, featuring none other than
Nicki
one of the
Minaj.
most iconic verses by Nicki Minaj.
What are his production credits? What did he do on that track?
I think
Because
he,
I hear no Bon Iver on Monster.
I
let
think
me
he
pull the
provided
track
some
list.
backing vocals. I don't know about Monster specifically, but I
He
think
sang
he
on
put
that record for
Yeah.
sure.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Good for him.
Let me look real quick. He had production on.
which is so random.
I think he had Devil in a New Dress.
I would believe
Oh.
that.
And I think he had probably All of the Lights because there's a lot of people that got credit on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Dark Fantasy as well. Like he had a lot of credits on that record. So like, you know, when they made that record, he like flew everyone out to Hawaii and he made them dress in like a black suit and white shirt when they recorded every day.
I didn't know that.
And he made them do community service in the mornings from like 10 to 2.
Lit.
And then they would all like work out together. Like everyone would work out. The producers, the engineers, the musicians, the singers, the stars. And then they would start recording at like 8 and go till like 4 a.m. and then do it over the next day.
You have to enter like kind of a state of psychosis at some point on that rhythm, right?
Yeah, I
Like
would
your
hope so.
circadian rhythm has to
Yeah,
be like,
totally.
dude.
So you're talking about like Rihanna is doing that same shit as like your engineers.
That's so cool,
like-
though. What a good bonding
That
exercise.
is.
Like Mike Dean's in there, like Dr. Dre, like
it's like
everybody.
a corporate retreat,
Yeah.
But I'm sure like
but
it
full
gets
of like
you
the coolest
all
people.
connected in a way.
Yeah.
right?
And that's
so
lit
cool.
as hell.
And they were like literally serving the community like while they were doing it too, which is
yeah, that's good, especially for like Hawaii because we
Yeah.
kind of do Hawaii dirty. Zach, yeah, my Bon Iver reference is for this first track.
Do you have sound bits or no?
Yes, I do. Should we get into it?
Yeah.
Okay.
go.
So this first track is called Opaline.
I was gonna ask you guys what you think.
I
I was
would
gonna say
probably say-
Opaline.
Oh, maybe it's my Midwestern Wisconsin ass. I would say
I
opaline.
usually look up words I don't know. What does opaline mean?
I would say like of an opal essence, like looking like opal.
Google says, do you mean opaline drink?
No, that's Ovaltine.
Oh, it's another term for opalescent. It's like a
Oh,
synonym.
perfect.
Oh, what is opalescent?
Which is showing varying colors as an opal does.
Kind of like
Oh.
iridescent.
That's beautiful.
So
This
you can
guy's
look-
this
yeah.
guy's so beautiful. I'm gonna say it like
He's
10
so
more
beautiful.
times. Like,
He
this
is-
whole album's so beautiful.
He is beautiful. You know, Spotify has like editorial playlists for like the most beautiful songs. And
Yes.
His music is all over.
Is
those
it on it?
playlists.
Oh, I love that.
I believe it.
Thank you,
This album is
Spotify.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
But this first track, I'm gonna say opaline. Sound off in the we don't post this anywhere that has comment sections. Fuck your opinion.
Subscribe on YouTube.
Subscribe on YouTube.
Do at us.
Um,
At us about your
yeah. If you're mad at me, my Twitter handle is at Sarah Bidash. Fucking go off. This first track immediately made me think of a Bon Iver song, and it took me a minute to like. I have his self-titled album. I'm gonna say his. It's a band. I have the self-titled album on vinyl, and I was like, oh my god, I know one of these songs. So really quickly, I'm gonna play the start of Opaline so we can vibe for a second and set up my reference.
I knew that a bad time shaking you.
Chill as fuck,
yes.
right?
So good.
Gorgeous. So without any context.
I love that swung piano rhythm. Like you're kind of swinging,
Yeah.
but it's like so stripped down. Like it doesn't feel like it feels groovy, but it doesn't feel like pop groovy.
It feels like you're in like an empty room with this person.
Very
Yeah.
It's
intimate.
haunting.
Yes.
Yeah. So it reminded me so much of the song Wash off of the Bon Iver self-titled album.
cool.
little straighter.
Straighter, but still groovy.
Yeah. A little more melancholic. But immediately I was like, oh, I'm going to like this album.
It's like an old piano.
Is all you know.
Yeah, I hear it.
Yeah.
Right?
I think so. I was going to bring this up later on in the album, but I think the reason that he gets compared to Bon Iver so much is because of his vocal production.
Yes.
So he actually produced this whole album himself. And he produces all his music by himself, actually, which is
Lit.
pretty cool. And mixes it too, which
Yeah.
is kind of insane.
Which is a pretty cool thing to do.
Yeah.
To have this whole art piece that's your decisions, right?
Well, it's also like intimidating, I would think. Because like I've played in bands
To
where
musicians, yeah.
like they mix everything and it doesn't serve the music as well. And I've
Sure.
played in bands where you outsource it to someone that's really good and it serves the music a lot better. But this guy just crushed it, obviously.
Yeah, just gets it.
But I think this vocal production is unique because it's a lot of octaved singing. Like he's singing the lower part and he's singing the higher part. And then he's got a bunch of effects on there to kind of make it sound like its own new thing. And Justin Vernon probably pioneered that, at least in the modern like indie context.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of the initial. If you can get past that, I think you actually notice a lot of differentiation between these artists.
Totally.
And it maybe is less like Bon Iver than people think, but man, that vocal production sounds familiar.
It sounds
yeah,
familiar.
100%.
Yeah, track number 1, I was like, okay, let's get into it. We are in a cabin in the woods in bumfuck nowhere, Wisconsin. Let's get into our Bon Iver groove. Let's put on a thrifted sweater. Let's go.
Perfect.
But then I was surprised. Like this album took more of like this optimistic turn. Like we're gonna talk about these tracks. Spoiler alert. But there was like some fun, like kind of upbeat, kind of twangy stuff later in the album where I was like,
Yeah.
oh no, this
There's
is
a banjo in
absolutely
this album.
Yeah, this is its own thing.
You ever heard a sad melancholy banjo? You have now.
And it's so good.
It's great.
So this was sort of my initial litmus test. I was like, oh, this is referencing something that I really, really like. Or maybe not explicitly referencing it, but it is reminiscent of it in my frame of reference. And I was like, I'm in.
Real
Awesome.
quick, can I use this first track to reference Radical Face, my artist? I thought that sounded
Yes, please.
Will you play Opaline?
100%.
I'm telling darkness.
This is a Bon Iver song.
This is a Bon Iver song. Oh, it is the Bon Iver song.
I was like, I had a very important thing to point out. I didn't hear it.
Hey, this is cool. This is also not Opaline.
When you said that, I was like, yeah, this is so similar to My bad.
No, like it's actually the Bon Iver song.
No, like quite literally, you're playing Wash by Bon Iver. So anyway, 153?
Yeah.
Did that illustrate the point you wanted to make?
We're keeping that in because it's funny. We're not even going to clean take into the correct song.
All right, this is the correct song. This is actually Opaline.
Okay.
It was all so cool.
Did you hear those little hand claps in the beginning, in that first little bit of the bit?
It was all so cool.
Okay,
Now we
cute.
play Welcome Home Son by Radical Face.
Absolutely.
Oh, I know this song.
Oh, do you?
I do, yeah.
Such a good song. I heard those hand claps in Opaline.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is going to sound like Radical Face. And I was so happy about it.
We had two very different thoughts going into this.
Because Radical Face uses a hand clap in every song, pretty much.
Cute.
But those 4 seconds of Opaline are the only time there's hand claps in the whole album.
Yeah. That's so funny.
It's so funny. Like, what an interesting production. Like, to be like, hey, we need hand claps. And like 153
But
to
like 4 of them
154,
total.
But that's it.
Never again.
Dude, it's so funny. You were talking about Radical Face earlier tonight,
Yeah.
and the name rung a bell, but I couldn't like place the band.
Oh, yeah.
I had that song on a playlist probably in like 2014, 2015.
It's an older tune,
a long time ago.
So good.
And there's a lot of songs that like there's only a couple by an artist that I know, but like I do a playlist at the beginning of every year. And it's just all the new music that I get into that year, whether it's new or old.
It's a great idea.
That song is, I think it's on my 2014 or 2015 playlist.
Oh, dang.
Lit.
That's probably about when I got into them.
Yeah.
Still
And
super into
I
'em.
didn't get into them. I just know that one song.
Oh, yeah.
So I should probably go back and
It's
give
their
these guys a
best.
chance. Yeah.
I would listen to Welcome Home Son. No, that's what we just played, right?
Yeah.
Then that's all the recommendations I have for you. Wrapped in piano
That's also
strings.
my
That's the
recommendation.
other one.
Yeah.
So while we're talking about our initial reactions to this album,
Yes.
Wild Zack, I'm curious, how did you and this album cross paths? And
Yeah.
what was your initial take?
Yeah, totally. So you guys know this song Anchor? It's by Novo Amor, but it's not on this album.
Oh, I mean, maybe I've heard it, but
It's
I
a
haven't
li-
consciously.
Yeah. It's a little bit more well known
Yeah.
than I think anything on this record. But
Is it in their Spotify top 5?
I
I
don't
was
know.
gonna
It's a
say,
good
should we
question.
play a
Then I
little bit?
definitely listen
Let's play.
to
Let's
it.
play a little bit of Anchor. Maybe like
Oh,
Yes,
it's
their number
right
one.
on
Yeah,
top.
I did listen to this.
Let's see.
Took the breath from my open mouth. Never known how it broke me down. I went in circles somewhere else.
and you can pause it there. You pause it at the perfect spot. It's amazing. So I think a friend of mine was like on a walk in the countryside and like took an Instagram story, and like that was the song they put on their Instagram story
What a
like
great-
Beautiful.
5 years ago. And so I was like, that is fucking beautiful.
That's vibes.
Because he like ends on the 4 chord,
Yeah.
which I am obsessed with that type of writing. Like I just think the 4 chord is the most beautiful sounding like chorus type, crescendo, anthemic type of orchestration technique. And the song like ends like that, which I love that. And so I knew he had
Suspense,
something.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. And just kind of, I have a playlist that's just, it's like restful songs that I can kind of just lay down and chill to.
Yeah.
And so I threw that song on that playlist a few years ago and really, really enjoyed it. And then it actually wasn't this year, it was last year. I think it was like spring to summer 2020. A Spotify like recommended song came across my profile and I clicked on it and it was I Feel Better, which we'll get to, I think it's next.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that song is like, this only happens a few times in your life, I think, where you hear a song and it's like, this is incredible. Like
Yeah.
it was uplifting. It was beautiful. It was encouraging. Instrumentally, it was so sound. We're going to talk about the guitar solo later because the guitar solo is pretty special on that song. But that song, I literally remember my roommate was working in his bedroom and he's a songwriter as well. And I was like, hey, get out of your bedroom, stop working. I need to show you a song right now. And we listened to it together and we were like, okay, this is really, really special. And I do this sometimes with my family. Like I'll write them like emails about the music I'm listening to. And I'll just have like,
That's very cool.
because it's a very important part of our relationship is like sharing music.
Yeah.
And so I wrote them this like 4-paragraph email about this song and like a couple of the other songs that were on that initial EP that he put out. So yeah, it was just a Spotify suggestion, but like instantly I knew that I was going to really like this artist more than I previously realized.
I love
That's
that.
so cool. I had such a similar reaction when I hit play on the first song, which
Opaline
was also Anchor because
Anchor. Right.
Well, I was like, this is a great tune. I hope he picks this one. I hope we
Right.
Yeah.
So that's great.
And me and my roommate like covered the song at one point. I think we have like a half done demo of it somewhere on my laptop, but it's a beautiful song.
It feels so stars aligned when you find an artist or an album on fucking Spotify of all places,
Which has every song ever written.
right? And you're like, and it resonates, and you come
Yeah.
back to it even years later, and you're like, yeah, this is keeping it. We're keeping it in the rotation. Yeah.
So cool.
Well, I think this is a perfect segue. We should go to "I Feel Better,"
Yeah.
which gorgeous, also gorgeous.
The lyrics are so simple, but it feels just like it's the most earnest thing I've listened to in 2021. Like it's
I mean, that piano part is pretty iconic. It just really draws you in really quickly. I noticed when I listened to this song on a few different sound systems, there's like a very like stark lack of low end in this song. There's like really not a lot, like you listen to this on like a sound system that has a lot of low end and it just sounds normal. You listen to it on something that doesn't have a lot of low end, you don't notice it as much. But man, like just the way that it's mixed, the performances of everything, it's really, really perfect. And it just gives you a very, very uplifting feel.
Yeah, I noticed listening to this album. I often do this if it's an album that I've like never heard before that I'm listening to for the podcast, but I'll often like put it on and then like do the dishes. I don't know why this is always what I do, but I'll put it on, I'll crank it, and then I'll do the dishes. And oftentimes I did this with Remy Wolf. I did this with a number of other things. And with this one, I definitely sort of got into like that sort of flow state of just like, this is beautiful. I'm doing something chill. I feel my blood pressure is down. Like I feel the calmest I've felt in a couple days. And then there's something really powerful about, I feel like the lyricism on this album, gorgeous, right? A lot of it is very heartfelt, but because of the production or because of the way that this album just sort of is, I feel like at first listen, you're not gonna hear the lyrics super much, or you're not necessarily going to be listening to it for the words.
2 time listens before I looked at the lyrics, and like I don't remember a single lyric those first 2 times because I was just so wrapped up in it.
Just in the zone.
Yeah.
And then there was something so powerful listening to this song about the lyrics that really come through are him going, I feel better. And I was like, oh, work. This is beautiful.
Which is not the most repeated. It's Don't Make a Mess of My Love is kind of the lyric that he repeats the most. But the I feel better, for some reason, the way it's delivered, it's definitely like the one that resonates the most.
Which is, there's so many lyrics in here. I just wish I could like had them on the podcast to be like, what do you mean by this? Like, what does Don't Make a Mess of My Love mean?
Dude, you know what is something interesting? I was listening to a podcast where he was interviewed recently, and they
what was the podcast?
I'll have to send it to you. I forget
please
the name of it. I think it was Road Trip Playlists.
Okay,
is what it's called. And they asked him, "Hey, what does this song mean?" And he was like, "You know what? I don't like to discuss publicly what my songs are about.
A lot of artists are like that. Yeah.
If you tell people too much, if you pull the curtain back too far on like what the meaning of a song is, then they lose the ability to assign their own meaning to it." And I think that's what's really special about music and lyrics in general, is that as the listener, you're almost just as a part of the art as the artist is.
Yeah.
Because you assign all of your own life experiences. You hear it at a time in your life that's really meaningful. Like I obviously was going through stuff when I heard this album for the first time, and it meant a lot to me. And by assigning that meaning to the song, I think that gives the art a little bit more, not me personally, but like just in general, like as listeners, I think they play an important part in that process.
Absolutely. It starts to be like a soundtrack for your life.
Because like, what is music? Like if I create a music and I don't hear it and no one hears it, is it a music?
Is it
If
unmusic?
Zach creates music in the woods and no one's around to hear it,
If Zach
did he fall
Zach's in
over?
one Zach, but no one Zach's,
Does he have big
or
Zack
I
energy?
create music and like I forgot what point I was making because Sarah made a funny joke.
We just trolled you completely out of your beautifully.
But the lens in which you consume music is just as powerful as the lens in which
that's
he
tea.
created it in, right?
That's tea.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah.
Totally. And this song is definitely more. It's a more uplifting energy than a lot of his music. Like he doesn't write a lot of happy songs, but this song is meant to make you feel better.
Yeah.
And it does. And he mentioned that too on the podcast. He was like, like I don't write a lot of music to make people feel happy, but the point in my life that I was in when I wrote this song, I had to.
A lot of his stuff definitely makes me feel happy, but in a melancholy way.
I feel like this is the last point I want to make about this song, but it kind of feels like coming to terms with feeling better.
Mm-hmm.
And for my mentally ill girlies out there, hi.
Which are not me and Zach.
Oh,
Well, we could be girlies.
let me put my. Oh no, girlies is gender neutral.
Oh, cool. All right.
yeah, don't worry.
And I'm very mentally ill, so this applies.
Perfect. But like, I mean, like so many people, like I've been through a recent rough patch, up in the medication, having psychiatrist appointments, the whole 9 yards. And it is really exciting to have that sort of realization and coming to terms with, I feel better.
Yeah.
There are sort of moments where after a really dark spot, you've come out of it and you've done whatever work and and things are kind of going your way. And you step back for a second.
Gotta celebrate it.
And
Yeah.
you're like, oh, wait, like I'm kind of chilling right now.
Yeah.
And that's really exciting.
I love that you take those moments to intentionally recognize that too.
Yeah.
Like listening to music is a good way for me to personally do that. And this song is a good example of like, if I've gone through a rough time and I'm in a place where I actually do feel better, this is like one of those songs that I can
And you get to congratulate yourself
appreciate
a
that
little
moment
bit.
with. But I will say too, as a guitar player, like the precision with which this guitar solo is executed is pretty spectacular. Like it almost feels like it was written in MIDI and just mapped out with how precise it all is.
Yeah.
But I know that's not what he did. I know he recorded it. And
Well, I feel like we got to show the girls.
right here. I don't think I realized how well performed that was until we tried to cover the song and I started doing takes. I started doing takes of the solo and I'm like, holy shit, that is dialed in. And he's also got like a harmony on the whole thing as well. So there's actually two guitar solos happening at the same
That's
time.
kind of what it sounds like, right?
Yeah, it's like a third.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, it's spectacular.
You better work.
As a guitar player, I want to ask your opinion on solos. Do you like solos that you can sing to, or solos that are more virtuistic? What do you think is the better guitar solo? Because like this one, you can kind of sing to. It's got the melody in it, right?
When you say like sing to it, do you mean like, because I don't fucking play guitar, do you mean like a person could like go like da 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 da, or do you mean like you would write lyrics on top of this solo?
I mean, like
Probably the first.
the first little bit of the solo is the melody, right? Of this one.
Oh yeah,
I
Kind of.
feel better.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely-
yeah.
So yeah, I mean,
Or like, so like, could you hum this guitar solo, or could you not hum this guitar solo? Which you think is a better guitar solo, Zach?
I would say if you can hum it is a better guitar solo.
Okay.
And John Mayer, for instance, like
Yes.
when he's writing guitar solos, he sings them as he plays them.
Oh,
So
This
if
is a
he's
John
pl-
Mayer safe space.
yeah, we love John Mayer here.
he'll be doing the doo-doos
Uh-huh.
as he's right, because at the end of the day, like a guitar solo is not going to be memorable unless he can sing it. And there's exceptions to that based off genre. I know, like
Sure.
math rock, for instance.
Sure.
A lot of
You can't even count the guitar solo.
Yeah, it's like it's not even all. There's 8 time signatures in one guitar solo. It's like you couldn't even count to it, let alone sing to it. But like that's kind of for that genre. I think the complexity is the point of it.
Yes.
I think for this style and for the type, and I'm nowhere close to talented enough to even play that type of music. For me, it's all about writing something that gets stuck in someone's head.
Sure.
So when I'm writing guitar solos, honestly, probably 75% of the time.
I'm a big fan of your guitar solos.
Thank you.
Love the guitar solos that are on some of your guys' stuff.
I appreciate that a lot. That's really nice. But you'll notice a lot of them, I'm literally just playing the fucking chorus melody.
Yeah, a lot of them
Like,
are super memorable.
We have a song called Tidal Wave, and it's and the guitar solos, it's like the same fucking shit. Like, but at the end of the day, like, to me, writing the guitar solo starts with taking a melodic texture that the song has already provided, putting that in a new instrumentative way, and then you add your little flair.
Sure.
The flair has to come because guitar solos are meant to be a little flashy, but they're also meant to make you understand the song and appreciate it in a new way.
Yeah.
So you have to have some sort of like cohesion with what's already going on in the song melodically.
Sure. Are you familiar with jazz music at all?
A little bit.
Because it's very similar to how a jazz musician, a trumpet player perhaps, takes a solo, right?
Yeah.
They take the melody, they embellish on it, they take it in a different mode or
Totally.
whatever. Yeah.
That's what you have to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
that's very cool. I like that a lot.
Delicious.
Delicious. Sarah's
Delectable. Eat it all up.
Do you guys want to talk about Decimal?
Yes, please.
Decimal's cool.
I want to talk about the beautiful guitar lick in the intro. Can we
Go
play
for
it? Let's
it.
play
Talk
it
about
first and then talk about it.
Yeah, man.
That makes me like want to cry a little bit, right?
I was gonna say that's the coziest shit I heard in a minute.
I want a blanket. I want some hot chocolate. I want a wood fire.
Precisely.
It's so
I
pretty.
want to cuddle with somebody. Probably it's going to be Roscoe.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so cozy.
It's very good.
This whole album is so cozy.
And dude, the tone on that guitar. Oh my God.
Oh, you melt into it.
Yeah. It's incredible.
You're like a grilled cheese with his guitar playing. It's
Absolutely.
And when the vocals come in too, they just keep that cadence.
Oh, yeah.
Like the tone is set by that guitar part, but like he keeps it.
And I love this
So
tune too
consistent.
because it's like through composition. There's no like verse, chorus necessarily. It's just like all the way through. He's giving you something new each time he sings, and it's
I think as a math rock guy, like you've got to love that style too, because it doesn't get repetitive, right? Like you're kind of introducing new concepts like as you go throughout
And
the
he's-
song. Yeah,
he's bringing a new
That's
bit
cool.
of verbal information to each section. Which is
It's
great.
like an onion.
It's got layers.
It's got layers.
I was researching this song and I learned that the reason he named it Decimal was because
I was curious about that.
a decimal is like a point between two things.
Yeah.
So like it's what separates, integers. And he was feeling like he was very much not where he wanted to be in life. He was kind of caught too far ahead of one stage and not far ahead enough to be in the next stage.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what inspired this song, which I thought was very interesting.
Zach gets guest of
That's
the years for
lovely.
using the word integers on the podcast.
No, for
Yeah,
sure. There's
uh-huh.
a rean you have a crown right now. Very
Yeah.
insightful.
Yeah, if you
That's
guys want
so
more
cool.
math trivia, I will call a friend. It's not going to be me.
Oh, but such a
Don't
beautiful
worry, we
song.
both went to art
My
school.
wild counterpart, I will call upon for such things.
Perfect.
We play 223 at Decimal for like
Yes,
the climax of the
sir.
song, like right after he's done singing.
I would love nothing more.
We just had a big movie buff on last episode, Jacob Pierce. Check
Yes,
that
we
episode
did.
out. And
Good
this
plug.
Thanks. And this climax like made me want to put it in an indie film where like a guy's dancing in the rain. He just like broke, like he lost the love of his life, but he learned a lesson along the way.
Yeah.
Like that's what that made me feel with that climax right there of the song.
yeah.
Not the whole song, just that like instrumental section.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Well-
I love it.
Well, it reintroduces that first intro lick, and then it's just good part of the song.
It blows the shit up. It makes
Yeah.
it big as hell.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
It's a good example of really tasteful production, and that
Yes.
he doesn't make the guitar like super saturated or like loud. He just takes the whole like cozy lick,
yeah.
and he adds little elements around it like piano and bass, and there's some other like other production stuff going on that makes it feel really big there.
yeah.
But the actual guitar part's not really that different. sounding.
Is it an acoustic? Can you tell? It's probably an acoustic guitar, right?
Sound like it.
He has this like fully hollow body Ibanez that he gets a very kind of pseudo acoustic sound out of.
That makes sense.
I kind of feel like it's probably that.
Yeah. Beautiful. I love it.
I haven't seen a video of him playing that song.
I'm gonna credit an indie film and put that in there, right there.
Next.
Okay.
Song number next.
This song, So I Feel Better was what got me super excited about Novo Amor.
Yeah.
But this has become my favorite song on the album.
Oh, work. Tell us why.
Yeah.
So we have this like theme, we have this theory in my band where we believe that the best singers are probably drummers. Because if you are a drummer and you have you have rhythmic tendencies just locked into your brain.
Yeah.
And you can do things that are more complex rhythmically. It helps you so much vocally. And I think this song is a good example of that. And by the way, Novo Amor, when he was 15 in his first band, he was the drummer.
Oh.
So
he knows what's up.
He has a rhythmic he has that rhythmic skill set just baked into a degree that is way deeper than most people. And this song, like every progression starts on the 4 and. It all starts before the actual measure of the section starts.
I noticed that a lot in this album. There's like some really
happens
weird.
a lot.
There's some really weird phrasing that's like is nice.
Well, it's not like weird. It just comes in at weird times.
Yeah.
Like the phrasing is just 4/4, but like the phrasing, like he's coming in at different
he's
parts
starting
of the
at
measure.
Keeps you
like
on
a
your
weird
toes.
spot in the measure. Yeah.
Maybe we can play like the first like 20 seconds just so people get the groove. But like
Sure.
if you go to the final chorus, it really accentuates that.
All right.
rhythmic.
Catch a vibe real quick.
I bet you all froze when I said I'm done. And I wasn't golden.
So one thing on that intro thing too, that first chord that he plays, he's playing the same chord, but he's like playing 2 parts of the chord at different times. So it sounds like he's like the do 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 do. That's all one chord, but he's playing like the power chord version of it on like the first 4 strums, and then he's playing like the actual like third of it in the second part, which is why it sounds like 2 tonal. It sounds like a tonal change there, but it's not. It's actually all the same chord.
Huh.
So I thought that was just I've never thought of like writing a guitar part that way. Like I learned how to play this song a few weeks ago, and I was like, oh man, like
It's just a nice try to introduce that color to it, right?
Yeah. So I love that. But maybe we can skip to the final chorus and
Lit.
we can get into that groove a little bit more.
Where did it go? Where did it go wrong? Yeah, I'm staying home. I guess it's a goddamn I know.
Like, is that not the sickest thing you've heard?
Lit as
It's
hell.
so good.
It's so good.
I almost had to lay down for a second when that was playing.
Like just the execution of it is so pure.
Oh, it's fantastic.
This is reminding me a lot of, we did an episode on dirty projectors,
Yeah.
which we said this on the episode, but it's also kind of like an artist's artist. And we were just gushing the whole time because we were like, oh, they're
We
so
just loved
smart.
it.
Yeah.
This is reminding me of that because we finished the soundbite and all 3 of us are like, ah.
This is also a moment where you can kind of tell that it's not like a full band that's doing this. It's
Yeah.
one
One
guy.
guy.
Because he's so in tune with everything going on. There's bands out there that can have this level of cohesion.
Yeah, in tune with each other, but
But like, man, it'd be very hard to execute an
It's-
actual cover of this song. It'd be very, very
so
fucking hard.
difficult. Yeah.
Lit as hell. Can I be honest with you? I gotta pee so bad.
Yeah. Let's do it. Let's take a break.
Quick pee break.
Flush here.
Cameron, skibbity bop ba.
And we're back, folks. Cameron, please delete that last 4 seconds of audio.
No.
To the listeners listening to this episode now, you don't know what I said.
Yes, they do.
All right, we're coming back, folks, with our midway bit. And this is a game we've had on the podcast before, and we're bringing it back because Zach is a guitar player, a very good guitar player. And so this is a game called Who Strum It, in which I'm going to pit Zach and Sarah on a team.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm gonna put you guys on a
I like
team.
this.
Yeah.
And you guys have to defeat me and get these answers right. What I've done is I've collected 7 guitar intros, and I'm gonna ask you guys who strum it.
Okay.
And you
I
guys,
might be actually pretty bad at this. like my lack of knowledge of like really popular music is flagrant.
okay.
Well, we've talked about this earlier, but Zach has such dad music taste.
Zach Wild.
Sometimes, yeah, Zach Wild.
Yeah, Wild Zach. Yeah.
So,
I'm rebranding you as Zach Wild.
and I'm a young whippersnapper.
This is from the Rolling Stones top 100 guitar players of all time.
Fuck.
So these are guitar players that like somebody thought were pretty important.
Mild Zach, you better lift this shit
I'm gonna
up.
do my very, very best. I
I will
promise.
too.
But I'm
I will tell you.
gonna set the bar low here. See how it goes.
I will tell you. I picked some tunes that were a little less old.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Do I need
Are
to,
we in the 2000s?
sometimes?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do I need to open this in Spotify or it just opened in Chrome?
I think in Deezer is ideal.
Yeah, Deezer is.
If you can open it in Deezer, that'd be
This
great.
guy's got jokes. Here's the first track. Who's Strum It? I'm going to play the intro and you guys can tell me who it is.
I've made this mistake before.
Dude, I'm gonna get exposed on this podcast. That is an iconic song. That's a huge song.
It's a very, and it's not the Black Eyed Keys, Sarah.
The Black Eyed Keys. Wait. Can
Look who got exposed.
are we starting a cover band called the Black Eyed Keys?
I think we have
think
to.
we have to.
And we only play the Black Keys.
And then we start a rival cover band called the Bright Stripes.
Yes, and then we only play the White Keys in that cover band.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Listen, oh my god, the last time we played Who Strum It, it was a long fucking time ago.
We opened with that same
and we
track.
opened with that same track, and I
Oh, okay. This is bad for you then.
and I said it was Fergie.
This is See, I was gonna go Whitney Houston. Like,
So it's not the Black Eyed Peas, and it's been so long I don't remember the actual guitar players. You piece of shit.
It's such a good guitar riff. It's so
I know
iconic.
it is. I know it is.
Do you guys have
I'm
any
gonna
guesses?
actively prevent my friends from listening to this podcast.
No,
I'm gonna work very hard to make sure that they never know that I was on this.
And I just had a second
I can't
first
name it.
thought.
I
was
can't
like,
name it.
is it like Hawaii 5-0? But it's not that. It's not Hawaii 5-0. Dude,
Yeah.
I
Tell me.
The rest are easier.
Is it the
now.
Ramones?
It's
It's not the Ramones.
It's not the Ramones. It's Dick Dale. It's the song Miserloo,
Okay.
which is in Pulp
Huge
Fiction,
song.
I think. Yeah, super
It
great
is
song.
Pulp Fiction. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yes.
you know what? Fool me once.
And sampled in that
Fool me once,
Black
then
Eyed
fool me
Peas
again.
song.
One more time than once.
One more time, you're on thin
Hey,
ice.
Dick Dale.
Oops, sorry. Let's do the next one.
Great.
All right, here's the next one.
I think I know this one.
Blitzkrieg Pop.
It's the one that goes, yeah. And
The song is called Blitzkrieg Pop.
is it by the Who?
No.
No, it's not by the Who.
Do you
The
know Zach?
Ramones.
Is it the Ramones?
Do you know the guitar player? It's Whom Strum It.
Oh,
so-
the name of the guitar player?
yeah.
Girl.
I'll give you a last name, or I'll give you a hint. The last name is Ramon.
Joey Ramone.
You're so close. That's hilarious.
Bowie.
It's Johnny Ramone.
Can I get like a half point for that?
You do get a half point for that.
Okay, cool.
That is
So the
Johnny
two of us
Ramone.
have cumulatively 2 brain cells and 1 half point.
One half point. That is
Combined, we are one Roscoe.
We are
one Roscoe.
on the brain cells axis.
That is number 28. Johnny Ramone is the Rolling Stones top 100.
Okay. Iconic.
It was the
according-
Ramones.
Hey, at least we got the band right this time.
Yeah.
And according to the article, he's never played a guitar solo.
What?
Yeah.
He's a riff guy.
Yeah.
Sounds like a coward to me.
Even though his guitar hero was Jimmy Page, which is interesting.
Joey
interesting
Ramone
little bit.
plays Guitar Hero?
Yeah.
Sorry.
His guitar hero.
Leave.
I gotta go.
All right.
Who's
track,
next?
Track number next.
That's all we get.
Yeah, just the intro.
Here's how lost I am. I was about to say, is that the name of the song? That's all we get.
I don't recognize that.
I recognize it so faintly, but oh no!
It is in the band's top 5 on Spotify.
And what's the band?
Can I tell you? Is that
Yeah.
cheating? The band is Radiohead.
It is not Creep.
It's not great.
Creep is the only one, though.
No, they have
I
so
will
many
say
good songs.
My knowledge of Radiohead's discography is egregiously poor.
No, same. The only song I know is Creep. And we already
Do you know-
covered that for
Do you know
a
the band
different
Amberlin?
bit.
Yeah.
No.
They do a great cover of Creep on their first album.
Ooh.
And they do it live sometimes too.
This bit Nova did Welcome to the Jungle. Did you
No, he
guys
didn't.
Yeah, he did.
He did Welcome
Holy
to
shit.
the Black Parade.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he did. It's
Wait, he did
really-
Welcome to the Black Parade?
No, I'm lying.
I'll give it to you guys. It's Johnny Green from Radiohead.
From Radiohead. Okay.
It's number 48.
What is
And
the
the
name of the
article
song?
said he's an effects-loving wizard.
Sure,
yes,
he
he
gets
is.
pedals. What is the name of the song, though?
No surprises.
Well, I was surprised. Next.
All right, track number next. We're gonna cut
David
this
Gilmour.
part. Should I wait till the riff comes in?
Yeah.
Well,
wait till
yeah,
it
no
comes
one's
in.
stram it.
It's David Gilmour, though.
Very good. That is David Gilmour.
Thank
That
God.
is
It's our
Pink
first
Floyd's
one.
money.
Yeah.
Fuck.
That is Pink Floyd.
That is Pink Floyd.
Girl, as if I know Pink Floyd. I'm wearing a fucking sweater where one of the cardinals is embroidered.
Yeah, it's a great sweater.
This is the dark side of the Zack.
Yeah.
This is gonna be a hard one. You guys might not know this one.
I have a guess.
Is it Robert Johnson?
Close.
I think it's Zachariah Emery.
Do you think I wrote that?
I think you strum it.
I wish to dear God I wrote that. Wish to dear God I played guitar that good.
I don't know. It sounds old timey.
It's really old timey.
It's actually 2021.
Do you have another guess, Zach?
Is it Muddy Waters?
Is that your guess?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is?
You better work.
Who strums it, though?
It's Muddy Waters.
Is that the person's name?
That's the person. Do you know Muddy Waters? Sarah, how long you been in Chicago?
5 years.
The Muddy Waters is one
5
of,
years, but primarily in like the Chicago emo scene.
Yeah, that's
Because
fine.
my roommate
That's
was
fine.
in an emo band.
Muddy Waters is one of the pinnacle Chicago blues artists.
Oh, that's tea.
Really hometown.
I mean, he's right up there with
And,
Buddy Guy for sure.
Absolutely, yeah. And this tune, Rollin' Stone, can you guess the name of the band who took their name from the song?
I think it was Cher.
Do you have a guess, Zach?
This is tough. Reliant K?
Can I give a second guess?
Could you imagine if Reliant K was like, dude, I'm so into Muddy Waters?
Hey,
Reliant K's just like,
hey, Matt Hoops, if you're listening to this, I acknowledge your appreciation of Muddy Waters. I promise you that man is aware of Muddy Waters' greatness.
yeah.
So Muddy Waters strum it.
Muddy Waters did strum it.
Great.
So is that two?
That's two.
Yeah. two.
I guess I was wrong.
We
I guessed
both
Robert
did it.
Johnson. Yeah, that
That's
was
okay.
actually
You
all
were
you
close.
said.
That was close.
Yeah.
This is the next one. I'll give you a hint. Is Chicago as well.
Beach Bunny.
I don't know if that's a close guess or not.
It's not a close guess.
My first thought is Wilco.
Oh,
Is it Wilco?
Do you know the guitar
let's
player?
go.
Do you know the guitar player?
We've talked about it before, but I
Dave?
haven't retained it. I was also going to say Dave.
Is it Dave?
I think it's Andy Summers.
Ah, but it's Wilco.
It is Wilco. Very
I'm in the
Chicago.
chapter.
Well done.
It's such a good Chicago band. I love
It does kind of sound like Beach Bunny, though.
All right, you guys.
Shout
got-
out Beach Bunny.
You guys
Shout out Beach Bunny.
Go
guys-
to Beach Bunny. They're
You
great.
guys got one more in you?
Absolutely. I was say Blue Oyster Cult?
It's pretty close.
Is it?
I just know
so.
that.
Is that the song?
The song is "Message in a Bottle,"
Oh,
and you were totally singing the melody.
Wait, Andy Summers?
Yeah, there it is.
That's Andy Summers.
Yeah.
Yo!
Yeah.
You got
He's
it.
strumming.
Dude.
Yeah. I was gonna say Andy Summers wasn't Wilco.
Yeah, Niles Klein was Wilco.
Niles Klein was
Niall
Wilco.
Horan was
Yeah,
Wilco?
Niles Horn. I'm so
dude.
drunk I read my
Harry
notes
Styles.
wrong. Niles Klein as Wilco. I'm so sorry, Jeff Tweedy. I misnamed your guitar player.
And then Andy Summers is the Police.
Yes. Last one. If you guys get this one right, you beat me.
Bum, 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 bum. That's it, right?
You better work. Yep.
Can never remember the name of them when I'm trying to. It's like pre-Linkin Park.
Yeah.
If there was a Linkin Park on here, I would have loved that.
Is that a genre of band? Just pre-Linkin Park?
No, it's a genre of music. like you know when people are talking about Beethoven, it's like pre-Linkin Park. That's what they say.
Yeah. Like Renaissance? Oh, yeah, pre-Beethoven.
Yeah, pre-Linkin Park. Yeah. Universally acknowledged.
This guy is also very active on TikTok right now, which I love.
No, he's not.
Because it's so
That threw me
funny.
for a
I like
loop.
it a lot. I want it. He'll do songs where he's like, do the bass part or like do the drums, and I want to go make a TikTok and do the drums to one of these songs.
Is it Matt Farley of Moturn Media?
No, but I
The
wish it
guy who
was.
sings poop songs?
What's the band?
The band is Rage Against the Machine.
Okay, that one hurts. That one hurts. I should have known that.
I have to phone a friend. My friend is Mild Zach.
Hello, it's me, Mild Zach.
No, you're Wild Zach.
Oh, you're right.
Put down the phone. I only have a limited number of minutes. Hi, Mild Zach.
2010 called. They want their minutes back.
Hey, I'm out of text, so I have to talk on the phone.
No, that's fine. Who is it? Who is this? Thanks, Roscoe.
I don't know his name.
I don't know, but we have 3, 4
I'll
points.
give you guys. I'm gonna tweet out a bunch of his
Whoa,
TikToks
Tom
this month.
Morello.
Yeah,
Tom Morello.
that's Tom
Of
Morello.
course.
Yeah,
He's the masterclass guitar guy.
Of course.
yeah, so great, so
yeah.
good.
That should be.
Thank
should
you
be easy
guys for
me.
playing Who's Strum It 2021.
I feel like I got it. Like we got a W, but I feel like I got exposed.
Yeah.
and that I'll be honest with you.
He's
Like,
number,
not getting the
tricky
Radiohead
game.
one. That was a bad look.
he's number 40 on the top 100.
Tom Morello is.
Yeah, not as good as Johnny Green, who they called an effects loving wizard.
Not as good as John Mayer.
John Mayer
Well,
isn't
no
on
one
the
is as
top
good.
100,
So
but he
good.
Wait,
should be.
What?
Why didn't you put John Mayer in the game?
He's not in the
Wait, pause.
He's not in the
pause.
Rolling Stones top 100. That's who I grabbed. I have the magazine. Where'd it go?
What?
Here it is.
That dated ass, bunk ass.
Here, you might like this. You want to take a look at it?
The listeners need to go to YouTube so that they can see the look on my face right now.
The way we don't have a single camera set up.
Wait, you guys don't have cameras? I spent
Not that
2
I
hours
know
doing
about.
makeup today. For no cameras.
And you look great, Zach.
No, you look great, Zach.
Oh, thanks, Zach.
Welcome, Zach.
We can only have guests on
This
named
is my
Zach now.
nightmare.
I'm flirting with people that are the same name as me. It's my dream.
Who's Strum It?
God damn it.
Let's get back into the album. What song is number next?
I believe it's
Zach,
Birdcage.
I love that you have adapted saying number next.
I like it. It's so
I
much,
like
it's
it
so
too.
easier than knowing the number.
Hey, don't tell the people that. It's a art form. It's a comedic bit. It's
You're
not
right.
because you don't know the next number.
It's
You
because
knew
you're
it,
being. It's a bit. You're
but you're
so right.
committing to the bit.
Yes, absolutely.
The next song, number 5, is Birdcage. Despite all my rage.
I'm still just a bird in a cage. I like the lyricism. I like the lyricism on the whole album, but this one especially.
I feel like at this point in the album, I relinquished myself to the vibes.
Yeah, that's a good way to
Truly.
phrase it. Yeah.
Fair.
Truly. Like I just kind of and I did we are a journalistic music podcast with lots of integrity. So I
So
did
much
look
integrity.
at genius.com
Yes.
at one
Wikipedia
point.
sluts.
Absolutely. 100%.
Self-defined.
Did I pay them? Did I pay Wikipedia even
They
though
did
they
ask
begged
me for a donation today.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I'm a bad person.
What was the branding was, has our information this year been of $2.75 of value to you, yes or no?
And it
I was
was
like,
worth
fuck.
so much more than that.
I was like, no, you can't phrase it like that, Wikipedia. I can't say no when you phrase it that way. Oh my God. Get this ad off my screen now so I can get free content.
Anywho, at this point, I had looked at the lyrics. I sort of internalized them a little bit, but I think my primary inclination for this album is to go with vibes. And to go with the way the music made me feel.
Beautiful.
In a very soundtrack way.
That is something he does really special with this album. Is like the lyrics are optional in some ways,
And when you look at the lyrics,
and
it's
the
like
way he's mixed too, right? The lyrics aren't at the forefront of the mix either.
it's like a bonus Jonas. It's like
Yes.
Frankie Jonas. You're like, oh, there's even more heartbreak here. Damn it. But I think you would get a lot out of this album even without looking at the lyrics.
Yeah.
Just because it's a beautiful soundscape.
But yeah, like after like high school, he was like, I'm gonna go to school to be a film score composer.
Nice.
I see it.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
You can feel it.
I absolutely feel
Yeah.
it. I didn't take this album on the transit test. I should have. Something I do a lot on this podcast is
It's
I'll
really
listen.
good for the transit test. In the
I
morning,
do 2 tests.
maybe not in the winter.
Yes. No, I think in the
Maybe.
winter it would be
Okay,
great.
yeah.
I do the dishes to
Do you want to
albums.
explain to Zach what the transit test is?
I just listen to it on transit and see how it makes me feel. I think this would perform spectacularly on the transit test.
It's like when mixing engineers do the car test.
Exactly.
They have a mix that they feel like is almost done, so they take it to the car, see
Like-
how it sounds in the car. and
Like, does this
evaluate
sound
from there.
good on a rattly train with like a bunch of like
Drunk,
where do you
high
take
people.
the blue line
I take the blue line.
with like a homeless person and like 10 other people going to work?
Yeah, it's like it's a maskless bachelorette party.
Yeah.
And like what can I say? I was recently on the blue line and someone ate in front of me an entire Chipotle burrito bowl and got every last bean. They scraped the
That
fucking
makes me
bowl.
uncomfortable, but also good for them, dude.
Which like keep your mask on the train.
Yes.
Please. It's a small
Yes.
space.
PSA.
But I was impressed. He got every grain of rice, every bean, and then he put his mask back on.
Do you think he thought that like the bar rules were like unless you're actively eating, keep a mask on? Do you think he thought those rules applied to the blue line?
Maybe, but I was
He's
coming
like, yeah,
home.
it's the same. Like I'm actively eating though, so like I don't have to like no, but like I'm actively eating. Like
Right, COVID.
yeah, we're in the Art Institute of Chicago, but like I'm actively
Eating or drinking. I can
I'm
take
eating
my mask
Chipotle,
off.
bro. Like, come on. So
When-
now I just have to take. He just has to take food everywhere and doesn't have to wear a mask anywhere.
when
That guy's got it all
COVID sees
figured
you
out.
actively
Got big brain
eating,
moves.
Big brain.
when the virus sees you actively eating, it's like, oh, let me back off.
That's how that works.
This
That's
is your
science.
personal
Like, well,
time.
dude,
Let
yeah.
me back off.
Yeah.
I
real
actually
quick.
learned that on Wikipedia.
Yeah. Please donate to Wikipedia.
Please donate. Everyone
So-
listening, donate
yeah.
to Wikipedia.
Oh my god. Okay, we lost the plot.
That was a
little bit.
tangent.
Oh,
Where
wow.
were we?
Let's
We lost.
do you guys
it.
want to skip Keep Me and hit Halloween real hard?
Let's go to Halloween.
Dude, I love this song so much.
This song was lit as shit.
Do you guys know that on Halloween this year he posted a live performance video of him playing this song?
Did he?
Of
That's
course he
great. Was it
did.
great?
Oh, it's fucking incredible.
Oh man.
Of course it was.
Go back to Novo Amor's Instagram and go back to Halloween, and he performed this song on, and like he released the video that day. It was beautiful.
That's awesome.
And now I'm going back and
we're
I'm gonna
gonna
watch it.
share that.
That sounds really nice.
In an interview, he's like, I don't like writing songs so plain out, but like this was a real Halloween that happened to him.
It was.
And he's got a couple more verses about how shitty Halloween 2011 that month was for him.
What the fuck is up with Halloween and Novo Amor? I mean, the lyrics on this song are pretty cut and dry. It's
Yeah,
like, I fucking fell into like the
Yeah.
edge of a countertop.
He was just having a bad October and November in 2011, according to this article, and just wrote a song about it and then cut back all the shitty stuff that happened in November. So the song's just about Halloween.
Fair enough.
He was also in kind of a writing spell at that time.
Oh, okay.
So he was in the midst of a season where he was trying to write a lot of different stuff, and he was really struggling with coming up with new ideas. So he thought he would try to write something about what it's like to not be able to write something. Because as an artist, like that is a real thing. Like you sometimes
Yeah, you get
can't
that.
pull out of you what you want to pull out of you, and it fucking sucks. But he was able to write music about not being able to write music, and I think that's a pretty empowering thing.
Very meta.
5 verses that he didn't keep in. He wrote 5 verses about just what a bummer of November it was. But then he cut it back to this great song.
I think this verse is maybe one of the best melodies on the whole album.
Yeah,
like the melody in this verse is
I would agree with you.
Yeah.
I made a bet that I'd forget my name by the age of 28. I could barely stay awake, 'cause more and more with every accolade I get carried away with being carried away. I remember Halloween, I hit my head on the edge of the sink, dialing out to
Oh, man.
Can we talk about the chorus effect on that guitar?
Why does this song hit so good?
It hits so good. This was another instance in the course of the album where I'm like doing my dishes and I'm like washing a wine glass and I go, oh.
Oh.
I go, oh. I'm like, I think at this point I was on the tail end of doing my dishes and you're kind of at the point where you're like bored with it and you're like, well, I only have X amount of forks left to wash.
I hate the last 4 forks.
It's
like the last
annoying.
4 dishes. It's the
Yeah.
worst part of washing dishes.
It's like,
for sure.
God, I really had to make tortellini this week, huh? But I went, oh. I heard it. And it's beautiful. It's a beautiful song.
I don't remember if I said this already in the episode, but like this is an album that like proves the point of like why you should look at an album as like a whole piece of artwork. Right? Because like there's like so much like whimsical and some of the like a couple of the songs earlier, like you don't really need the lyrics, you just kind of feel them. But this one, like the lyrics hit you, right?
Yeah, they hit.
Because he's just talking about exactly what happened. He's not being really metaphorical in a lot of senses.
He's being very literal.
Yes. Yeah. He's like, literally,
Yeah.
in 2011, I hit my head on the kitchen sink.
Yeah.
Which is a really nice point in the album. For some reason, this track, Halloween, just hits.
There's
nice.
another fun fact about this song is that there's a co-writer that has credits on every single song on the album named Ed Tullett. They actually have a collab album that came out, I think in like 2017. That it's actually, Ed is credited as an artist on that album as well, but he's only credited as a writer on this album.
Okay.
He's credited on every single song as a writer except this one.
Interesting.
So I think we can think of Halloween as being a little bit of a this is Novo Amor. It's but in more personal way. Like
Purely biographical.
it's
really
it's the man himself.
Yeah.
Very literal.
Yeah. I dig it.
So yeah, very interesting.
I wish we could find the 5 other verses. I wish they were out there.
Is there like an extended Halloween version?
I hope so.
But what if you put that out someday?
But
Novo Amor, if you're listening to this, will you put out an extended version of Halloween next Halloween?
Novo
And
Amor
we want
pulls like
all of the 5 verses that you wrote.
We will tweet at him
he
for
pulls
sure.
a Kim Petras and just puts out a Halloween EP.
Yeah.
For those listening, go listen to the Kim Petras episode.
Thank you.
Yes.
You are so right.
Zach's such a good host. Thank you.
You
Zach.
are such a good host.
No, you.
No, all of us. Let's all pat ourselves on the back.
I'll tell a really cool story too about this album in general. I recently had the opportunity to go down to Southern California and hang out with some family. My younger brother plays college basketball, and he was playing against UCLA, so like I flew down to go to the game. And my older sister, who's a very outdoorsy type person, was like, "Hey, let's go to Joshua Tree." Like while we're in Southern California, I was like, "I'm so down." So we went out to Joshua Tree, and my sister is a very like introverted person, and I'm a pretty extroverted person. I have an introverted side for sure, but like I probably lean on the extroverted side of things. And so sometimes it's hard for us to do the same activity and both enjoy it at the same time because we have different interests and we have different like willingness to hang out with people in general. And the thing that we really connect on is being outdoors. So going out to Joshua Tree was a very, very important and meaningful time for us to spend some quality time together. And the thing about Joshua Tree that's so cool, there's a lot of cool things about that place. Go to Joshua Tree. Everybody go. It's great.
Yeah.
But the first night that we were out there, we actually were able to camp in this campground that was right near the downtown area. And it was in this valley that was right near like the main mountain outside the national park. And you can see so many stars. Like if you've ever stargazed before, imagine seeing your favorite constellation, but then seeing like 100 stars that you've never seen before behind your favorite constellation.
Beautiful.
That's what it's like in Joshua Tree. And I remember going to the grocery store, getting a couple drinks and sitting out under the stars with my sister and we listened to this album on repeat for
I have to lay down
2 to
thinking
3
about that.
hours.
Oh man.
And we were stargazing, and we were talking about family, mental health, what we were struggling with.
Yeah.
We were encouraging each other. We were building each other up.
That's huge.
We were supporting each other, just loving on each other. And this album was like the soundtrack to that whole experience.
Oh,
And-
my heart.
Oh my gosh, I can't tell you like how meaningful that moment was for me.
Do you
That's
just
great.
have the one sister?
I have 2 sisters.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Okay.
Was
2 sisters,
this
yeah.
sister older or younger?
So I have 1 older sister, 1 younger sister, and
Yeah.
then 2 younger brothers.
Oh,
Lit.
nice.
Lit,
Big
lit,
fan.
lit.
They're the best. We're all very different. We do very different things, but music is at least how I relate to each of them. And this album was able to play a very unique role in that this year. So that's
Oh,
actually
great.
partly why I
Yeah.
wanted to talk about it.
Thank you so much for bringing that to us today.
all right.
That's
I
great.
love sibling dynamics.
Oh yeah.
It's something, I have 1 younger sister. It's just the 2 of us.
Uh-huh.
And I love
Just
her
the 2 of
so
us.
much. She's been on the podcast.
Yeah.
I love her so much. And I love hearing other people talk
Was
about
it
their
Caroline
siblings.
Polachek?
It was.
Yeah.
Great episode. Guys,
Look at
for those
this
listening,
guy.
go
Yeah.
listen to the Caroline Polachek episode.
It was really
Listen to Sarah's
good.
sister talk
Is
about it.
the best guest
She did
of
a great
2021.
job. That episode, for whatever reason, is like doing numbers.
It's really
too.
good.
I'm
Really
like,
good.
Okay, work. But I love hearing people talk about their siblings because I feel like
Yeah.
it's such a special relationship.
It super
Yeah.
is, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, Zach, you have so many siblings.
I've got 8 siblings.
Whoa.
Yeah, and it's because like some of them are so old they practically raised me, but like yeah, it's a super important relationship
That's
in
awesome.
your life. Yeah,
It's really unique. And
Yeah.
I don't know.
it's like
something
hey, you
about
went through
it.
almost the exact same shit I went through.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like if anyone is going to get it, if anyone is going to be a real homie to you,
Yeah,
I feel like in most cases it's your sibling.
absolutely.
Yeah, totally agree.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Statue of a Woman is an interlude, right? Like I don't know
Yeah.
if we need to spend a lot of time on it.
Instrumental.
It-
It's chill.
So relaxing.
It gave me very,
it
like,
needs to be in there. I feel like.
yeah,
Like,
and it's
it
towards the
fits.
end of the album, which
Are you
is
going to
cool.
say 1975? You motherfucker. Yes, it
It
did.
didn't give you 19 because like
Yeah.
their new album is like all interludes.
Yeah.
Like half
Yeah.
the album is interludes, which is
Yeah.
like, come on guys, give me a song,
Right.
whatever. The songs are great, but like it was a lot of that, and I think this little interlude was a fun little thing to kind of stick towards the end of the record. But if we're being honest, that crescendo, like can we move to that at this point? Is that okay?
Let's
yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Okay, if we're being honest, the last song on the album, I wonder if we can just maybe play like the first 20 seconds and then the very end, because the end is, I'm always going to think of stargazing for the rest of my life when I listen to this song.
All right. Here's the first 20 seconds.
You call me up in August, said meet me at the Chapel Pines, just to feel American. Bury me in orbit, marry me on fast.
So beautiful. Like he's kind of introducing a very like
His voice,
low key.
man. His
yeah,
voice
it's
just hits me
special.
It's
so good.
beautiful.
And the fact he has an accent, right? Or no?
Yes.
And I
But it's a Welsh
I
accent.
don't hear it at all in his singing.
That's a thing though with people with UK accents, like you can't tell.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if you listen to Coldplay, like you don't know that
No, yeah.
Chris Martin has that thick British accent. And then you listen to him talking, it's
Sly
like,
dog.
yeah,
like-
he's sneaky
It's like
motherfucker.
the guy from The Walking Dead. You have no idea he's got a big accent or no.
Is you too?
Yes,
Okay.
British.
Yeah,
I
British.
thought so. That was the
Bono?
first thing I
Yeah.
thought.
big British
yeah.
accent guy.
Yeah. Okay. Ah, hey.
Obviously Adele too.
Of course. But you also wanted to listen to the end of this, right?
Yes.
Okay.
There's a crescendo towards the end of this song that is.
I'm going to play it from like the 3-minute mark.
It's maybe the most important moment on the album. I
That's
might
huge.
make that take. Yeah.
Okay.
If we're being honest,
Okay, because let's talk about Coldplay for a second.
A little bit of Coldplay there, right?
This is very
really
much-
up tempo.
Very much miss you.
Yeah.
Fix You.
Fix you.
Fix
Oh
You.
my
Fix
God.
I miss you. Bow. I miss you. That's Blink-182.
So I've had 3 whiskey drinks. Fix you.
Wait. Listeners, put in the YouTube comments Is Fix You or Miss You a better song?
True.
I want to hear what the listeners have to say.
It is Fix You. You're so right.
Put it in the Discord.
Yeah, in the Discord.
And I will try to
Fix You. That is a good parallel though. I don't think I made that, but
Right?
the anthemic, like the anthemic, the piano is kind of playing that role in this one,
Yeah.
whereas the guitar really plays that role in the Coldplay song.
Yeah.
But it's a good parallel.
I was on a dance team in high school, and a lot of girlies chose "Fix You" as their like sort of
What a
contemporary.
great Coldplay song.
It's
Beautiful
such a good
song.
song.
Oh, man.
Beautiful song.
Coldplay is a good band.
Yeah, except for the new album.
Coldplay is
Fair.
a good band.
Fair take.
I'll say it on there. I'll put that in the internet forever.
The thing about the new album was they were trying to do the Head Full of Dreams thing.
Yeah.
Like they kind of went back to the whole big production, big pop kind of thing.
And Head Full of Dreams was fun.
Oh,
It was fun.
No, Head Full of Dreams is an iconic record.
Yeah.
Head Full of Dreams is one of the best
Like
albums.
she was the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Milo, it's not Milo Xyloto, but it's close.
Right.
Yeah, Head Full of Dreams is incredible. And I think that this album was trying to capture that energy and it fell a little flat for me.
Fair enough.
Exactly.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Like it was on pitch.
They
but it was
already
flat.
did it right, and they tried to do it again, and it didn't hit right.
Yeah.
And it was like, no, we
Not
know.
for me at least.
Yeah.
And honestly, like they don't care about my opinion.
But let's quit shit talking on Coldplay and
So Novo Amor is great.
no.
Coldplay is also pretty much fine. They're okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But big Coldplay energy right there. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious. That's going to go down as like when I said Fergie was. I'm going to be honest. I already forgot what the other band is.
It's Dick Dale.
Dick Dale.
Dick Dale
He
from.
pioneered surf rock.
Who was Dick Dale a part of?
His name was, the band was just Dick Dale.
Oh, it's just Dick Dale.
It's just, he was the guy who made surf rock a thing.
Okay, so next time you play this game with someone on the podcast, you have
It's
to
Dick
make
Dale.
you have to make this song the first one that you do
If
again.
you're going to co-host this podcast,
It's been the first one for
listen
2 times
to
you played
this
this game.
episode. Listen
Let's
to
see
this
if she gets
episode.
it.
It's Dick Dale.
Third time's the charm.
Oh, man.
Sarah, please listen.
Zach-
Please remember.
Future Sarah, I'm talking to you right now.
Zach will know. He did. It's the alternate
It's
picking
Dick
where he strums
Dale.
down and up on the same string.
Yes.
He pioneered that type of guitar.
Well, isn't there's slapback delay on that too, though, right?
Yeah,
Which
exactly.
is a type of delay,
Uh-huh.
which is my favorite effect on guitar.
Ooh.
But that's a very, very specific type of delay. That's very, very fast feedback, which gives you that kind of wobbly feel, like almost like a modulative type of effect, like a tremolo. But it's not tremolo; it's delay.
Yeah.
And surf rock is really the genre that popularized that effect.
Yeah.
Deep.
And then Black Eyed Peas
Black Eyed
sampled
Keys.
it.
Black Eyed Keys.
Thank
Sorry.
you, yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
And I wish they would sample more surf rock because there's some very good surf rock out there that just.
Can we do a Black Eyed Peas episode?
Sure. Can we do a
The
Black Keys episode?
END by Black Eyed Peas is a really good album.
Yeah. Fergie hits it. Do we have any more songs to talk about on this album?
We do not. That
We're
is the whole
done?
record.
I think
We're
it's time
done
for
already?
Brewski.
Oh, boy.
Folks, I know you've been sitting on the edge of your seat, and we have come to you with yet another stunning Robrewski. Novo Amor, at your leisure, if you could come and collect the Robrewski 4, Galileo's 2020 Spotify Wrapped. Congratulations.
Because of how good it is to sun gaze too, right?
To sun gaze.
Sun
To
gaze.
stargaze. No, to sun gaze.
Stargaze.
The sun is a star.
Don't look at the sun.
Now, that wasn't the particular star that we were looking at the night that we
It's a
were
star.
like in Joshua Tree, but I guess
But like, it'll damage your retinas.
There's only a couple more stars beside the sun, right?
Goodness gracious. Should we take it home?
Yeah, let's do it.
We are Album Rebrews, and we're going to continue being Album Rebrews. If you want to check us out on Twitter and Instagram, we are at Album Rebrews. Or if you'd like to take a look at our little website. This episode is not sponsored by Squarespace. It is www.albumrebrews.com.
Thank you so much for listening. If you like the show, tell a friend about it. We don't ask that very much, but we're going to start to. Tell a friend about it. We're getting more listeners each month, and it's really exciting. Thanks to Cambop for editing and writing the theme song for our show. And giant thank you to Zack Wheeler of the Mild West for coming on and doing a fantastic job. Please go check out their single, Shooting Star. It's on all platforms. What's the website, Zach? For
The
them to find you.
mildwestband.com.
themildwestband.com. Go to that right now. Go follow them on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that. They are
If you follow us on
fantastic.
Twitter, you're not going to see any content like at all ever. but like,
so just
please
do
do
Instagram.
so.
Their Instagram's
Yeah.
great. They just played a show at Lincoln Hall, and it looked phenomenal.
They also have really good merch. I was looking at your website today. I was like,
Yo, the hoodies do slap. The
they're,
hoodies do
they're
slap.
really cute.
The hoodies do slap.
I was like, that could work.
Yeah,
We don't have merch like that. I was like taking notes.
I would very much like a hoodie. Yeah.
Mild Zach, do you have any thank yous you want to say or any last words for the listeners?
Thank you to you guys for having me on. This has been super
thank you.
fun.
Yeah.
Thank you to all the fun people that have enjoyed this album with me and made it so much fun for me to I just connect deeper and deeper with it over time. And thanks to you guys for creating the platform on which people can talk about music to a degree that is fun for me, but not fun for maybe a lot of people that I like to talk to it about. So you guys have just let me come on here and nerd out for an hour, and that's been amazing. So thank you so much for allowing me to do that. Check out the Mild West, check out Shooting Star. We're out here doing music and playing shows and having a good time. So
It's good
check
shit.
it out.
Yes.
So at this point in the podcast, this is where we say goodbye to the people. And we like to get really close to the mic and very tenderly say goodbye. Would you do the honors?
So long. Farewell. What movie is that from?
Is that
Sound of Music?
Sound
of Music. So long. Farewell. Auf Wiedersehen.
goodbye?
Good night. Goodbye. If you're listening to this at night, if not, good morning or good day.
I hope you're having a beautiful